On the afternoon of August 12, 2025, South Korean authorities held a press conference in Seoul that instantly became the top headline across domestic and international media. The announcement concerned a high-profile criminal case involving the manager of Jungkook, a member of the globally renowned K-pop group BTS. For months, rumors had circulated about anonymous threats targeting members of the group's management team, but until now, no official details had been released. The Ministry of Justice confirmed that a suspect had been apprehended in connection with the threats, marking a significant development in an investigation that had quietly spanned several months. The most striking element of the announcement was not merely the arrest itself, but the unexpected identity of the person taken into custody. According to investigators, the individual was someone with prior professional ties to the entertainment industry, a fact that has intensified public curiosity. Authorities also stated that the arrest had brought to light a hidden motive behind the threats, one that was far more complex than a simple act of intimidation. The press conference began at precisely 2 p.m. local time, with representatives from the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency, the National Office of Investigation, and the Cybercrime Unit present. Standing before a wall of microphones, Chief Inspector Han Dae-jin provided an opening statement. After an extensive investigation involving cyber forensic analysis, witness interviews, and cross-jurisdictional cooperation, we have identified and arrested a suspect believed to be responsible for repeated threats made toward a member of BTS's management staff. The suspect is currently in custody and is being questioned regarding the nature and motive of these threats. Initial reports indicate that the threats were directed specifically at one of Jungkook's primary managers, who has been with the artist since his earliest years in the industry. Sources close to BTS's label, Big Hit Music, confirmed that the threats had caused significant operational disruption within the team's day-to-day activities. This included adjustments to travel schedules, increased security escorts, and temporary changes in how staff interacted with the public during official events. While details about the exact nature of the threats remain classified due to the ongoing investigation, police officials did confirm that they involved both direct and indirect communications. These included messages sent via encrypted email accounts, anonymous social media postings, and at least one physical letter delivered to the agency's headquarters. The combination of digital and physical intimidation methods posed unique challenges for law enforcement, requiring coordination between multiple specialized units. The arrest itself took place in the early morning hours of August 11th in the Mapo district of Seoul. Neighbors of the suspect reported seeing several unmarked vehicles and plainclothes officers arriving at an apartment complex shortly after 5 a.m. The operation was described as swift and discreet, with the suspect being escorted into custody without incident. Within hours, forensic teams were seen removing computer equipment, mobile devices, and various documents from the premises. Officials stated that these materials are now undergoing analysis to determine their relevance to the case. The news of the arrest spread rapidly, with domestic broadcasters interrupting regular programming to cover the development. International media outlets, particularly in markets where BTS maintains a strong fan base, also picked up the story. Headlines in English-language newspapers across Asia, Europe, and North America emphasized both the unexpected arrest and the hidden motive hinted at by authorities. The ambiguity of these phrases has prompted widespread speculation, though police have urged the public to avoid premature conclusions until verified information is released. Big Hit Music, the label representing BTS, issued a brief statement within hours of the announcement. We have been cooperating closely with law enforcement authorities in their investigation regarding threats made toward a member of our staff. We express our gratitude to the relevant agencies for their swift and thorough work in resolving this matter. The safety of our artists and staff remains our highest priority. Due to the ongoing nature of the investigation, we will refrain from further comment at this time. Legal experts have pointed out that South Korean law treats threats of violence, particularly those involving public figures, with considerable seriousness. If convicted, The suspect could face charges ranging from criminal intimidation to cyber harassment, as well as additional penalties if the threats are determined to have been part of a coordinated effort to disrupt the operations of an entertainment company. For now, the central questions remain unanswered. What exactly prompted the threats? How did the suspect gain access to the information used to intimidate the manager? And why was the arrest described as unexpected by those familiar with the case? Over the coming chapters, this report will examine the full chronology of events, beginning with the earliest signs of the threat, the measures taken to address it, the investigative techniques used by authorities, and the implications this case holds for both BTS and the broader K-pop industry. The unfolding story is not only a criminal investigation, but also a case study in the complex intersection between celebrity culture, security concerns, and the LAW. As the press conference concluded, Chief Inspector Han Dae-jin left reporters with a single statement that hinted at the deeper layers of the case. This is not a matter of fan obsession or random hostility. The motive we have uncovered is of a different nature, one that required patience, precision, and careful concealment. More details will be made available as the legal process allows. This brief but telling remark suggests that the investigation may reveal motives linked to professional rivalry, financial disputes, or internal industry conflicts, possibilities that will be examined in detail as more information emerges. For now, the public knows only that an arrest has been made, the suspect is in custody, and the threat to Jungkook's manager has been neutralized. But in the high-stakes world of South Korean entertainment, such a case rarely ends with a single arrest. The true depth of the matter is likely to become clear only after further inquiry, legal proceedings, and the gradual unsealing of evidence that is currently locked away in the hands of investigators. The sequence of events leading to the arrest in the Jungkook manager threat case did not unfold overnight. According to information from both law enforcement and individuals familiar with the situation, the earliest indication of trouble emerged several months before the public became aware of the matter. What began as a vague, seemingly isolated incident gradually developed into a sustained and targeted campaign that prompted one of the most coordinated investigations involving South Korean entertainment security in recent years. The first known warning sign occurred in late March 2025. At that time, the manager, whose name remains undisclosed for security reasons, received an anonymous direct message via a social media platform. The message contained no explicit threat but carried a cryptic tone, suggesting that the recipient should reconsider certain professional decisions related to upcoming BTS activities. While the message was dismissed internally as the type of unsolicited correspondence that public figures and their teams often receive, it was nonetheless archived by the manager for record-keeping. The situation escalated in early April when a second message arrived, this time via email. Unlike the first, it was unambiguously threatening, making reference to specific events in the manager's recent schedule that were not publicly available. This raised immediate concerns about how the sender had obtained such detailed information. The email was routed through an encrypted service, and preliminary attempts by the label's internal IT team to trace its origin were unsuccessful. The matter was then discreetly reported to the agency's security division, which began coordinating with local law enforcement. By mid-April, the nature of the threats had evolved. The suspect, or suspects as investigators initially considered, began sending messages that contained time-sensitive details, such as the locations of upcoming private meetings involving BTS staff. These communications included statements implying potential harm if certain unspecified conditions were not met. The specificity of these details reinforced the possibility that the threat actor possessed either insider information or access to internal schedules, prompting the agency to impose temporary changes to operational protocols. During this period, security measures for BTS's staff, particularly for Jungkook's management team, were quietly intensified. Travel routes were altered at the last minute, vehicle convoys were used more frequently, and entry points to agency buildings were restricted to pre-screened personnel. Though no public statements were made at this stage, multiple sources later confirmed that the changes were a direct response to the unfolding threat situation. In early May, The incident entered a more serious phase when a physical letter was delivered to the agency's headquarters. We have been cooperating closely with law enforcement authorities in their investigation regarding threats made toward a member of our staff. We express our gratitude to the relevant agencies for their swift and thorough work in resolving this matter. The safety of our artists and staff remains our highest priority. Due to the ongoing nature of the investigation, we will refrain from further comment at this time. Legal experts have pointed out that South Korean law treats threats of violence, particularly those involving public figures, with considerable seriousness. If convicted, the suspect could face charges ranging from criminal intimidation to cyber harassment, as well as additional penalties if the threats are determined to have been part of a coordinated effort to disrupt the operations of an entertainment company. For now, the central questions remain unanswered. What exactly prompted the threats? How did the suspect gain access to the information used to intimidate the manager? And why was the arrest described as unexpected by those familiar with the case? Over the coming chapters, this report will examine the full chronology of events, beginning with the earliest signs of the threat, the measures taken to address it, the investigative techniques used by authorities, and the implications this case holds for both BTS and the broader K-pop industry. The unfolding story is not only a criminal investigation but also a case study in the complex intersection between celebrity culture, security concerns, and the LAW. As the press conference concluded, Chief Inspector Han Dae-jin left reporters with a single statement that hinted at the deeper layers of the case. This is not a matter of fan obsession or random hostility. The motive we have uncovered is of a different nature, one that required patience, precision, and careful concealment. More details will be made available as the legal process allows. This brief but telling remark suggests that the investigation may reveal motives linked to professional rivalry, financial disputes, or internal industry conflicts, possibilities that will be examined in detail as more information emerges. For now, the public knows only that an arrest has been made, the suspect is in custody, and the threat to Jungkook's manager has been neutralized. But in the high-stakes world of South Korean entertainment, such a case rarely ends with a single arrest. The true depth of the matter is likely to become clear only after further inquiry, legal proceedings, and the gradual unsealing of evidence that is currently locked away in the hands of investigators. The sequence of events leading to the arrest in the Jungkook manager threat case did not unfold overnight. According to information from both law enforcement and individuals familiar with the situation, the earliest indication of trouble emerged several months before the public became aware of the matter. What began as a vague, seemingly isolated incident gradually developed into a sustained and targeted campaign that prompted one of the most coordinated investigations involving South Korean entertainment security in recent years. The first known warning sign occurred in late March 2025. At that time, the manager, whose name remains undisclosed for security reasons, received an anonymous direct message via a social media platform. The message contained no explicit threat but carried a cryptic tone, suggesting that the recipient should reconsider certain professional decisions related to upcoming BTS activities. While the message was dismissed internally as the type of unsolicited correspondence that public figures and their teams often receive, it was nonetheless archived by the manager for record-keeping. The situation escalated in early April when a second message arrived, this time via email. Unlike the first, it was unambiguously threatening, making reference to specific events in the manager's recent